The annual meeting and festival brings Chickasaw citizens together every October. As Governor Anna Tubby says, the state of the nation is strong because of vigilance to protect tribal lands, culture, and sovereignty. And because of self-governance, the Chickasaw Nation continues to thrive.
Self-governance is an expression of the exercise of sovereignty by the Chickasaw Nation. On a practical level, it's a legal authority that allows the tribe to assume the operation of federal programs for the benefit of Chickasaw people.
You know, if you go back and you know much about Native history, most treaties, were signed on the non-Native side with the idea that these people will be gone in 25 or 30 years. They won't be here anymore. They'll cease to exist as a people. Well, that's not happened in America, and so these treaties are real. The recognition of sovereignty is not something that just faded away, that they just all sort of melded into American society, or they've maintained their identity. That's a very important thing, and Chickasaws, like all tribal peoples, need to recognize that and appreciate the sacrifice that it took for people to keep that separate identity.
Establishing and keeping a separate tribal identity hasn't always been easy throughout history. But there is one proud reminder, standing like a fortress in Tishomingo, that pays tribute to a strong people who refuse to fade into history.
The Capitol is just a very magnetic building. It has a magnetic personality. It does draw people in. My name is Donna Webb. I am the manager-curator of the Chickasaw Capitol building here in Tishomingo, Oklahoma. We get a lot of people that come here that know this is the Chickasaw Capitol, want to see the Capitol. We do have visitors from all over the world, which is amazing to me that people find their way here. The Capitol was constructed in 1898. This was quite the construction project. Actually, we have to go back to talk about one of the Chickasaw governors, early governors, and that is Robert Harris. Governor Harris ran for office in 1896. He was elected. We are looking at the building he gave the Chickasaw Nation. He was a visionary, yes he was. He was over the construction of the building. He helped with the design of the building. And yes, all the granite actually came from his land. So all the stone was quarried there, cut there, and then brought into town stone by stone. The Chickasaw government was in the building from 1898 until 1907. 1907 was Oklahoma statehood, and at that time the Chickasaw Nation had to vacate the building. The interesting story as far as the construction of the building, the Chickasaw Nation knew when they were actually building the Capitol. They knew statehood was coming. They already knew that the Curtis Act had been passed. They knew what was going to happen at statehood. They knew they were not going to be able to keep the Capitol building, and Harris never let that slow him down, deter him. I think that was one of his thoughts as this building was under construction, was that we know we're going to be leaving it, we don't know how long. He wanted it to be there whenever the Chickasaw Nation did come back. He was building a monument, and it was to the Chickasaw Nation. It does represent everything that they have been through, their perseverance, their forward thinking. Every governor, back to Robert Harris, to Governor Douglas Johnston, to Governor Overton James, to Governor Anna Tubby, they're all connected with this building. This building represents the past, but it also represents what the Chickasaw Nation has done and will do. I really believe that. It's all connected.
Having a strong and responsive tribal government relies heavily on citizens who diligently participate in the process of tribal elections.
Each year, Chickasaw citizens get the chance to help direct the future course of the Chickasaw Nation by casting their vote. You must meet several qualifications before participating in Chickasaw elections.
You have to be a citizen of the Chickasaw Nation first, fill out an application with a signature, and be 18 years of age or older to vote.
If you live outside the Chickasaw Nation boundaries, you'll be asked to select a district where your vote will be counted.
Most people will pick the district in which they originated from their ancestors.
Voter registration applications must be returned at least 3 weeks before an election. And the election board will send renewal paperwork every 5 years. Once your application has been processed, a ballot will be mailed to your house.
The voters determine the future of the Chickasaw Nation. It's a duty, a responsibility as a Chickasaw citizen.
Once you've filled out your ballot, put it inside the inner envelope, sign the outer envelope, and put it back in the mail. You don't even have to worry about finding a stamp.
It's a business reply, requires no postage.
Ballots must be returned by the morning of the last Tuesday in July. The signature on the back of the envelope is matched to the one from the voter's application.
And we take them one by one and verify each signature that's on the back of the envelopes.
Once the signatures are verified, the ballots are removed from the inner envelope and tallied. The entire counting process can take several hours, and then the results are announced. Now is the time for Chickasaw citizens to help shape the tribe's future. Let your voice be heard. Applications to register as a Chickasaw voter can be found online at chickasaw.net.